Hello, little puffins, and welcome to another episode of EPL. We are your hosts, Growler.
And I'm your boy, Vibes.
How you doing today, Vibes?
I'm good. How you doing, Growler?
I am feeling good. We are in Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Hey, turn up. And we are enjoying some wine, and it is a good-ass day.
And guess what day it is?
What day is it?
It's Bastille Day.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Tell us what that means.
Well, as I understand it, but our guest will probably explain it a little bit more. I understand it as the day that it's the day that the monarchy was done, right? And that the people of France all joined together and became a republic.
Vive la révolution. That's what they all said. They all said that in their sleep. Everybody just woke
all
up
at
one morning.
once.
They woke up one morning, and in unison, they all said it.
Yep. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, let's get to letting everybody meet our guests. Our guests today are Rob and Vianney.
Yes.
They are the owners of the gay resort Coqui Del Mar. Excuse me. You know, my Spanish is not that great. It is the queerest guest house in the Caribbean. It's eco-friendly, 420 friendly,
420
and
friendly.
clothing optional.
What?
Welcome. Local Puffins say welcome. Rob and Vianney, welcome.
Hello, bonjour, buenas tardes.
Yes. All over the spectrum. Speak it all. How y'all feeling today?
Good.
Great.
Good to be here.
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
Yeah,
of
we're glad you're here.
course, Of course.
It's been a long time coming.
It has been a long time coming. Actually, we had already been working on the podcast when we
Yeah.
were like, you know what, we really should have Rob and Vianney on the show. They
Yeah.
would be great for the show.
I mean, just about our journey here
Yeah.
to Coqui Del Mar.
Yeah.
Like everything we find on the internet.
Yes.
And we're in San Juan, and we know San Juan is very queer friendly, and it's the place to be in the Caribbean if you're queer.
Yes.
I would say that.
Yes.
And we were like, oh, brunch? Yes.
Yes.
No drag queens, but brunch.
Yeah.
We're coming. And we can be nude.
Yeah.
So
and they also and 420. Yeah.
Yeah.
420.
Yeah,
So
like,
it's
these are
all in the
my-
bag.
This is all my Google searches.
Yeah.
So we're here.
And we've met like 3-4 times.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I feel like this is exactly the vibes that we try to provide. This is exactly the vibe at Coqui Del Mar. This like very chill, naked 420, a little bit of like sexy moments.
Yeah.
But this is not like a gay sauna either.
Yeah.
But it's like, sexy and naked, but mostly also chill and
Chill.
420.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chill,
So
be
it's
yourself.
always great to have guests who really set this tone as well. And so we're always
I
happy.
agree. Every time I
when you get
come here,
there.
I feel like I'm in community,
Yeah.
which is important.
Yeah.
Right, like you were saying, Vianney, it's not the bathhouse.
Yeah. It's a different.
It's not
yet.
that at all.
Not
Yeah.
yet.
It's a very community space.
Yeah.
I always feel welcomed here. Like the first time I came here, I felt welcomed, and that's why I keep coming back, and that's why we're here doing this interview. So
Yeah.
for our little puffins, for you two, those are our listeners.
Those are our listeners.
So welcome, little puffins. We just want to know a little bit about both of you separately, and then chat about who you are as a unit. So who would like to go ahead and fill us in first?
Why don't you
we
go
could
first,
kind of
Rob?
hop back and forth, maybe.
I'll correct you.
Oh, okay. He does that. So, well, what brought me to Puerto Rico was the Coast Guard. I was in the Coast Guard, and people always ask me how I ended up with this place.
Yeah.
Coast Guard stationed me here, and I bought the place as my very first property. It was a very big fixer-upper
Okay.
back
Okay.
then. But it looked similar to what it looks like today. It's just like things didn't work.
Yeah.
Doors were missing.
I mean, it looked very different.
It looked very different. Like
The structure
outside,
was the same.
The structure
but-
was the same.
Anyway.
Right. No, but you're right. Thank you for the correction.
We live to see it.
Yeah. So then, Coast Guard moved me away. I only stayed 6 months here after I bought it.
Wow.
Wow.
So I found a manager that could live in one of the units and rent out the rest. And then traveled with Coast Guard and finally got out of the Coast Guard and went to France. And that's where we met. Well, I went there to study.
Okay.
And then
To study Frenchman.
to study Frenchman. The story we like to tell is that I was coming out of the metro and he's walking in with a baguette and he hit me in my face.
With the baguette?
Yes.
Okay.
But that's not
Do we need to censor this?
Okay, so what's the real story? We met
It's
on
baguette code for
Grindr.
something. Sorry.
Okay, so the baguette was Grinder.
So Rob, no.
We are Grinder
So
couple.
you were in the Coast Guard,
Yeah.
and you're American,
Yes.
U.S. American from the mainland,
Yeah.
and you're in the Coast Guard, and you just happened up in Puerto Rico and like, let me buy a property, because you knew you were coming back here.
I didn't think I was leaving
Oh.
in 6 months. I thought I was going to stay here for a couple of years. My dad was into real estate, so I was
okay.
like,
if
I
I
was
can
naturally kind
interject
of.
on that, like you, since we met, you love this kind of thing.
So Vianney, tell us about you, your story, like.
So I was born and raised in Paris, France, and I was just having a miserable life in Paris, France. I was not miserable, but just like I was working in public relations, so in an office, like this kind of 9 to 7 job where you're just behind your desk. And
They work late there.
I was going to say
Yeah.
9 to 7.
He
I
would
was
get
like,
home late.
That is
Of course, there is the
maybe
5 to 7
9:30
thing.
to 7.
You got to explain the 5 à 7.
The 5 à 7.
Yeah, tell us about it.
But yeah, and then when I met Rob, he started talking to me about Puerto Rico, and I basically had no idea what Puerto Rico was. In France, we don't really know anything about Puerto Rico because if we go to the Caribbean, we go to the islands that we colonized, that we invaded,
Right.
like Martinique, like Guadeloupe. We go to Cuba because it's like history, but we don't love the United States in general.
That relationship ended a long time ago. Now it's just for show.
Yet hamburgers,
And I don't
hamburgers are the number one thing on menus over
I mean, freedom fries. Come on.
Yes, USA. But so Rob started talking to me about Puerto Rico, and he was like, "Well, I have a guest house there. We should go there sometime." I was like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." I had no idea what to expect, and then we started coming here on vacation, just like once a year, twice a year, and we started thinking, well, we could do something with this place.
Yeah.
Rob had a manager taking care of it, and it was a very regular, family-friendly place, and we were thinking, yeah, we could maybe at some point in our life move here and start taking care of it, but maybe I'm jumping to
No.
No.
and yeah, and so that's what we did after a few years living together.
Well,
in
what happened
France.
was the hurricane, Maria. And when Maria happened, we were living in Bordeaux at that moment, and the airport was shut down because the airport is like, it might be under sea level, but it's not much above.
But you came back during the hurricane, and is that the moment that you decided that you wanted to stay here full time?
We decided if we either need to sell at a deep discount or move here because the managers said, I'm
done.
out, I'm done.
Wow.
I mean, we had no electricity. We had a generator, so we could have 2 or 3 hours of electricity daily, but to get the gas was not easy.
Right.
So 3 hours was 3 hours more than most people in Puerto Rico. Yeah, it was a mess.
It was a crazy situation. I was not there,
Yeah.
but Rob and I were talking over the phone every day, obviously, and like it was so hard for people to find a place to stay because so many hotels would close because they did not have water, they did not have electricity, they did not have anything. They were just like, well, you know what, I'm closing. But people could not leave the island.
Yeah.
So some locals, because some locals had lost their homes,
Yeah.
and also some tourists that were like basically like their reservation at their hotel was ending and they could not fly out of Puerto Rico. And again, locals obviously were just like so desperate to find a place that they would come to us and be like, hey, do you have a room? We're like, well, we like there's a bed in this room, there's already other people in this room, and we are not able to remake the bed because we don't have any water. But it's available. It's a one twin bed. You're like 3. And so we're like, yeah, fine, we'll take it.
Yeah.
We'll take it. We don't care if like the sheets have not been changed and stuff. Obviously, I'm not talking about today. We do change.
Right, you change. Ready?
Yes. Welcome back.
I just said I wouldn't.
Oh, you
welcome
said
back.
you would.
I guess not. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. This is our live take 2.
Yeah. Welcome back, little puffins.
Yes.
We're sitting here with Rob and Vianney,
Yes.
owners of Coqui Del Mar Guesthouse.
Yes.
And what are we doing right now? We're hitting what's it called? The volcano?
Volcano.
Volcano.
Not
Yes.
Mount Vesuvius. Well, I made that reference because some time ago there was some American climbing on Mount Vesuvius, and he went down this hidden path and then fell into Mount Vesuvius, but didn't get a
Some time ago,
scratch.
you mean a couple hours ago? Because that happened today.
What?
Well, I'm future speaking, friend.
Oh, yes.
Oh, damn.
Because this is season 2.
Yes.
This is season 2.
Yeah. I guess
Oh,
the
shit.
volcano is already
That's kicked
active.
in. That is
But anyway, welcome back. Glad you both are here. So the question becomes, you've told us a little bit about how your guest house was in existence, but when did it do the transition to become Coqui Del Mar, a guest house for queer folks, a guest house?
So it
Yeah.
was a very step-by-step process.
That's true.
I think we started. So when we moved here about 4 years ago after Hurricane Maria, we started. I think we started saying, "Let's go for 20 friendly."
No, we first said no kids.
Maybe we first said, yeah, it was like no kids, and
Yeah.
then for 20 friendly, and then part of the guest house was clothing optional.
Like, we live here as a
And-
gay couple.
No,
We're
yeah,
not
you're
going to
right.
have kids.
That's
Why would we want to be around somebody else's?
that's actually a very
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
no, you're right, Rob, because it's very like we wanted to shape this place more accordingly to who we are,
Yeah, we
Yeah.
live
what,
here.
what we do and how we live. And Rob already loved having the option to be naked and swim naked.
Yeah.
And I did not at the time.
No,
yeah?
he's
I've
changed.
changed.
He's
You're new to
changed.
nudism,
Yes.
Yeah.
a naturalist. Same here. So we should have that conversation a little bit.
Let's have another episode.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I was like, yes! I am the first to take my pants off.
And just a disclaimer, not that queer folks can have children. We absolutely can if we want.
That's true.
But nobody wants to be around them. I mean, my day job is kids
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
day, and I don't want to be around them when I'm on
it's
vacation.
Not, and it's not, yeah, as you're saying, it's not necessarily all related. Like, obviously, you can be queer and not smoke pot.
Right.
You can smoke pot and have kids. You can be queer and not want to be naked. You can be naked.
I don't
and
think
not
we
be
have
queer.
to go through all the combinations.
But yeah, I like what you're
Let
saying.
me finish,
I like
please.
what you're saying. I like what you're saying.
But I think again that's where we wanted this place to be more of a place where we would choose to stay if
Yeah.
we were traveling somewhere. So
Yeah.
that's why we picked all of those options.
And we keep fine tuning because when we go travel, we find things that we love at whatever place we're traveling at.
Yeah.
And we're like, how can we incorporate that here? Does it fit?
Mhm. But it's also really been what it is now, being, I would say that 95% of our guests now are cis gay guys. We are always happy and we always welcome trans folks, and we still have straight couples sometimes. Most of the times they are actually
Little
swingers.
pansexual. Yeah, little pansexual swingers.
Exactly.
But we have women, straight.
We have
straight women. That are
we have
traveling
lesbian
single.
couples, solo female travelers who feel like this would be a
It's a
safe
safe place.
space for
Yeah.
them as
Yeah.
well, because they're not going to be harassed by, those,
those guys.
Those guys.
We know them.
Straight
whoever
guys,
they
yeah.
are. But can you just visually, because we are speaking here and we're not on video yet, so just walk us through the space. Tell us about the space. From you walk from the front door.
Yeah.
Is this a podcast or is this going to be
This
video at some
is-
point?
No, it's all audio right
okay,
now.
okay.
Do you see a camera?
No, you just mentioned
there's actually a security camera there.
I want us to visually I want you to visually walk us through from the front door. Explain it,
So
because
it's-
you guys have
yeah.
some pretty awesome rooms here. I just went to the restroom and I peeked into a room and I'm there are handcuffs and BDSM,
shit,
all
yeah.
kind of
I know
things
what-
are going on. So walk people through who are gonna potentially come here and stay.
So
No, you can say
I
that.
guess
what
you
it
could-
looks like.
I'm good.
You could picture it as a big house where each room has its own private entrance.
Yeah.
So you enter in the property and you find a long corridor, and you walk through this corridor, and then you find the splash pool, where there's a little barbecue
And you've probably seen
flags.
Coquito at that point.
And you're probably
Yeah.
gonna find our dog
Who's
Coquito.
Coquito for our guests who are
Okay.
listening?
True. Coquito's a dog that we adopted here. And so a street dog is called a Sato in Puerto Rico.
Asato.
Yeah, they have an organization called Save a Sato.
Save
Save us-
Sato.
yeah.
It's a really cute story because about 3.5 years ago, Rob is part of a group, a WhatsApp group with the neighbors, and someone wrote on this group, "Hey, there's a dog, a street dog, sitting in front of our gate of our house, and my wife is super scared of dogs. So what can we do? Does someone wants to take care of him for a few hours until we find whose family he's with?" And Rob was like, "Oh my God, I love dogs, yes." And Rob asked me, "Hey, is that okay if we take care of this dog for a few hours?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, for a few hours, that's fine." It's
Good.
been, almost 4 years now, and Coquito is still with us. So he was definitely a street dog. He was a puppy. He was
Yeah.
maybe 4 or 5 months old.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell exactly. And he's definitely he's a mascot. He's
Yeah,
part of the brand
absolutely.
now
And
here.
he's the official greeter at the door.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I always say to the other Rob, Growler. Sorry, Growler. I always say to Growler, I like Coqui, but I'm not going to get into the trap of Coqui, which is you're going to have me throwing and tossing this ball for the next hour and a half. I'm not going to do it.
He does that.
Because I've already come upstairs and had brunch and a lot of champagne, and we've had a couple of Don Coups. I just can't do it. But anyway, so you're walking through the hall, you come
Yes.
past the splash pool.
Yes, and you have rooms all the way around you. And then you walk to there we have a mango tree, and there's a mango tree, there's a hot tub that's very popular at night.
So wait, you just mentioned a pool and then a hot tub.
Yes.
Wow.
And don't forget the mango tree.
And a
the
mango,
mango
tree.
tree.
So wow, these are a lot of pools you got going on in this space.
And hopefully we're working on getting the permit on another property that we recently bought that is adjacent.
Expansion.
So
Wow.
we're again hoping
doubling
it's,
the
it's a work in
size.
progress. But at the moment we have about 10 rooms.
Okay.
And as you were mentioning earlier, each room has a theme. Each room is based on one of the color of the Progress Pride flag.
Okay.
So there's a red room, the yellow room, the green room, the orange room, etc. And what was my point?
The
You
new
were telling
place.
us about the
Well, the
property.
new place
Yes.
has
So
a
we're
theme as well.
we're expanding. We're opening the firehouse as soon as we
The
get the
Firehouse.
permit.
Hoses.
Yes, hoses and Firehouse.
That's the pizza.
Our pizza just arrived.
this is perfect.
Gosh. Eat Puff
Christian,
Love.
thank
Eat
you
Puff
so
Love.
much.
Thank you
We
so
have
much,
been
Christian. This is
puffing
Christian,
everybody.
who's one of our innkeepers.
Yes,
Hi,
Christian
Christian.
is on the episode. Welcome, Christian.
Say something, Christian.
Tell the people hello, Christian.
Tell the people hello, Christian.
Hi,
Christian's so
everybody. How
cute.
are we feeling today?
We are feeling good. How are you feeling, Christian?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for
Yes,
asking.
Christian was our wonderful host who welcomed us at the door when we got here.
Yeah.
Christian, thank you so much for being on Eat Puff Love.
pleasure.
If you don't follow Eat Puff Love, Christian, definitely.
But if I can very quickly,
Yeah.
Christian just left the room, but I just want to say that we're very lucky to work with them. And he was mentioning his friend Kirk, who also works with us, and they are doing such an amazing job, and we're very blessed that they are working with us.
Yeah, I really appreciate what I've noticed. And again, this is back to my early comment. And I'll just be very frank. Like, you two are both white men. But I think there is an understanding of, as you've said before, your privilege and how you also have experienced your privilege, but also how you've experienced it not.
Yeah.
And how that you see the importance of having the totality of community
Yeah.
be present.
Yeah.
And I think what I have always appreciated coming here is that you walk in and you just feel like this is where you're supposed to be, not because someone is saying to you, this is where you're supposed to be, but because the feeling that is here and how you greet from the very front and is very consistent throughout the time.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate that, because that is not something that you always get. So yeah.
I'm getting emotional about just even that, honestly, because it's a real thing. And
Is it the volcano?
huh? What'd you
Go
say?
ahead, sorry.
What'd you say? Go ahead.
Sorry, did I interrupt you?
No. I was just gonna say that, like, I mean, I think the other phrase that we've not used just yet is body positive, also.
Yeah.
And feeling like my body is welcome is so important for, you know. And I feel very confident in myself, and so like I value that, not just for me.
Oh, yeah?
as, what'd you say?
I said, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I feel that for me, but also for someone who may not feel as confident about their body, and who and also myself, and sometimes, because sometimes I don't always feel great about my body. But you know, not only do I belong here, but my body belongs here, my skin belongs here, my discourse belongs here, my laughter belongs here, is really important.
Just to react on this, I will say that this is something, at least for me, but I think for you as well, Rob, that we've actually learned a lot moving to Puerto Rico. I moved straight from France to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
I've never lived in the States. I've visited the States a lot, but I've never lived there. So I'm not going to pretend that I know how it goes there. But some things that I've really learned in Puerto Rico, and especially going in alternative queer places in Puerto Rico, there's so many places. Some of them have closed after COVID-19, but there's a lot of, like, the drag scene in Puerto Rico is amazing. And I've learned a lot about the fact that we're not just gay guys, we're also part of much more than that. We're also part of a whole community that where trans people belong, where non-binary people belong, where lesbian belongs, where pansexual, panromantic people belong, ace folks belong. And it is something that, honestly, I have learned so much in just the past 4 years. Just because of some people in Puerto Rico who taught me that. And I'm very, very grateful for that, because it's been a very humbling experience to be in a place. Puerto Rico has been colonized. Puerto Rico has been a colony for 500 years. It's been a colony of Spain for a Spanish colony for about 400 years, and after that, it's been a colony, a U.S. colony, for about 150 years, and it's a very there's the Taínos, the correct me if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, but the indigenous,
indigenous.
But there's like the language that is spoken the most in Puerto Rico is Spanish, which is obviously not the original language on the island in the Caribbean. But now there's also the U.S. people, and English is also there. I'm talking a lot to just get to one point, which is basically like Puerto Rico has taught me and taught us a lot about embracing the fact that we all... Okay, that's very cheesy. We all belong together?
No, because you know what I was going to say is
coming
that,
from a French guy, too. Coming from a French guy. Because they're not like as optimistic and life is like rainbows and sunshine.
We just go on strikes.
Yes.
Just go on strike.
So that kind of compliment coming from, I don't hear that very often.
About Puerto Rico?
About myself.
Oh.
about anything
not Puerto
I do.
Rico, about myself. Okay, back to you, Rob.
Well, you know what I think about. So I will yes and your comment, because one of the things that I think about as a black person and meeting other black people in Puerto Rico. And then we've also had some time to visit Loíza, the town east of here, with a rich African heritage that is still pretty intact and recognizable. But and also on Monday nights we love to go to
Bonanza,
La Terraza de Bonanza, where they have amazing live music every Monday night. If you are listening and you are trying to figure out what you should do with your extra $600, you should book a flight and just make sure that you are in Puerto Rico for La Terraza de Bonanza on Mondays, because it's so fucking dope.
It is.
Anyway, I'm saying all that to say, I hear all of that. This connection to the Taino culture, this connection to African culture, this connection to my experience as someone born and raised in the United States, and then as somebody who loves to travel and have been to a lot of places, have met other Caribbean people, not in San Juan, not in Puerto Rico, have met other diaspora people, et cetera, and how important it is. All of those connections are important, and honestly, it makes you feel small, but it also makes you feel connected at the same time. That's what I think about.
Yeah, and what I was going to say is that I like that you have a sense of awareness about your role here, but also that you're doing your part, because everyone has to do their part.
Right.
And so the fact that you do maintain that you want to make sure that you're respecting the environment here, that you're eco-friendly and you're doing things that it relates to like water and recycling, and the fact that you are ensuring that you're giving the people who work here, who are part of this larger community, a fair wage. Right. You know, whatever a fair wage is, it's right now $15+ an hour, but you're doing it, right? And so from all of that, I say I appreciate that, because it says to me, I'm not only are you talking the talk, you're walking the walk. Yes. And that's important.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's actually also important to mention that you were saying that earlier. Rob and I are both white guys. We're not from Puerto Rico. We're the owners of this place. But obviously we would never have been able to build what we've built so far and what we're still building without the help and the working with a lot of other people most of them being from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
I think about one of our first managers when we were working here, Ian, who is from Puerto Rico. I'm thinking of Adi Love, who's a trans drag performer. She's an amazing person who helped us a lot building this place as well. I'm thinking again of Christian and Kirk, and Nitsa and Leandra and Juan Miguel.
And even going back further,
Nelson, and going
Noida,
back further, Noida,
who actually
and
just
so
passed
many
away
many
like a
people,
month
Jason
ago.
and Mario, who have
And
helped
Cutie
us,
who cooks us brunch.
and Alexis
Yeah,
in charge of brunch.
Alexi,
charge of
Alexis is
brunch.
our chef. Diael, who works with us. Like there are so many. Who did I forget?
No,
But yeah, it's
There's
not. It's
like
not.
16
It's
at the
obviously
moment.
not just Rob and I, and that's also important to mention. Like this is a whole. We have a whole team of people who work with us.
It takes a
or
village.
Who have worked with us in the past, who also contributed to not only create this space, but also contributed to make us more aware of certain things that we did not know when we first started doing this.
So, what's next? Future thinking. What's next for Coqui Del Mar Guesthouse?
Coqui Del Mar, what's next?
What's next?
The next thing is Firehouse, which is going to be kind of even more community, but in the sense of community showers, like a firehouse.
Okay.
Like how I imagine a firehouse would be. I don't know.
Are there
I
going to be sliding poles?
Yes, definitely. But you know what? Like, we got to have a release or something because people are actually going to be using it. And if I put it as a joke in there and say, do not use it, it's still going to get used.
Slide down the pole or stripper pole. Which one's it going to be?
Hey.
So
Have you already purchased the poles?
I've not bought the pole.
Are you
Not bought
testing
the
the
poles
poles at home?
But come on, tell us.
Give us
Firehouse.
a little
Firehouse,
demonstration.
community like showers, and it's going to be a little more basic.
Okay.
There's no TVs.
Okay.
It's just basic.
Come and
Come
and
enjoy.
chill out.
Meet other people. And they have full access to Coqui. And
Okay.
Coqui, which has larger units, a little more, your space, your own personal space. You can go over there. They can come over here. The gym we're actually building over on that side.
So the only difference between it'll be like, yeah, it might be a little less of a hit to your pocket to stay at the Firehouse,
Right.
but that's encouraging because that means it opens it up to a lot of different people, who have
Exactly.
different amounts of money in their pocket,
Yes.
Exactly.
but they can still come and enjoy the
Yeah.
whole entirety of what it's
Right.
Coqui.
Exactly.
Which
I
is
love it.
difficult at a lot of finding a gay resort that has affordable place to stay is difficult. So we tried to do kind of a combo of both. That hey, if you're fortunate enough to have the money to spend on a larger unit, great. If not, you still should enjoy the experience.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to meet everybody. They don't want to just meet.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Yeah, I agree with that because, not that I agree with it, of course, because I would probably I'll come to Coquique, but if I still want to come to Puerto Rico and I got to stay at the Firehouse, we're going to stay at the Firehouse for a couple of nights.
We'll stay at the firehouse.
Come stay at Coqui Del Mar. Come stay at the Firehouse, and you can enjoy both experience. I think yeah, it is important. Like Rob, you were just saying, it's hard to find a gay place that is affordable. It's hard to find a place that is affordable
Right.
in general. When you
Right.
travel, there's certain parts of the world that are so expensive.
Yeah.
And even Airbnb sometimes it's like 200. Like I'm going to New York in a couple of weeks, and I was looking at a place in Airbnb, and it's like, if you don't want to be like, I don't know how many miles that would be, but in kilometers. If you don't want to be like 2 hours away from New York, then it's like $200 a night. And
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like, it's I'm very excited that we're opening a place that would be still like offering a lot of service and like having a lot of amenities for guests, but not be just like, hey, here's your bed, sleep in it, and
Let them eat cake.
I mean, on Bastille Day, that's very. We did say that we're gonna talk about Bastille Day, but to have a place that's affordable for students, or for anyone who does not have a lot of money. Actually, it doesn't matter if you're a student or not, and also a place that would be fun. It's like you don't need to be staying in a sad place. You guys were talking about La Terraza de Bonanza, which is such an amazing place, and
so much fun.
it's like it is so fun, and I wish there were more fun options sometimes for places to stay out, and I hope that's what we're opening.
Yeah, I think you all are, because it's not the big box. Like, who wants to stay at the fucking Marriott? I mean, maybe for a wedding, maybe when you're going to meet your friends at a wedding, maybe when you're traveling with your parents. But for the most part, if you're really wanting to travel, you are not going to stay at some big box for real.
And also, I feel like, especially when you're coming to a place like Puerto Rico that has so much history, who wants to stay? I mean, obviously a lot of people wants to, but I personally, I want to stay in a place that has characters, that has not necessarily history, but a place that can reflect a little bit of
feels local,
the city or the country or the state or whatever that I'm visiting. And staying as a Marriott, your room is gonna be the exact same one as the ones that you're gonna find in DC, New York, and you're gonna have the exact same menu for breakfast and everything. And I feel like it's a shame when you're in a place like Puerto Rico that has so much history. Puerto Rico is the fort, is a castle in Puerto Rico, is the oldest building in the United States. It's 500 years, I think. Nowhere else in the United States you will find a place that is older than that, a building that is older than that. If that still
of the colonized United States.
Well, unfortunately,
of the colonized history.
Everywhere in the United States is a colony.
The most parts of the U.S. you're not going to find a building that is that old. I mean, maybe in the southwestern part where the indigenous people live, you'll see some things, but you're not going to still be able to go in and live in it.
No, you're right.
I hear what you're saying.
And that's why I'm using the word building. It's like
Growler's over there being all technical.
Yes,
I think it's. I think that the conversation has been technical in general, and it's all good.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's volcano speak.
That's what's happening. Thank you, Rob.
Volcano, if you are listening, we take all sorts of endorsements. Your endorsements can be to Eat Puff Love, or your endorsements can be to Coqui Del Mar.
Is that the name of the product?
Stores and Beckel.
Stores and Bickle.
These are the guys that make it.
And
Germans.
it's a hybrid.
And we would take all of your endorsements, please, please.
Now you're pandering. Okay, so little puppets, I think this is where we're going to take a quick little break.
Take a quick break.
And we're going to come back and further our conversation, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Welcome back. Hey, we are having a great time with our guests, Rob and Biani of Coqui Del Mar in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
The queerest gay house. Queerest guest house in San Juan.
Hey!
Eco-friendly and 420 friendly and clothing optional.
Hey! Yes. Queerest, gayest, and all of the weediest.
And you can find them on IG.
You can find them on IG. You can find them on Twitter. You can find
them on Google.
TikTok.
On TikTok. Yes, they do TikTok.
Yes,
Facebook.
we've seen the TikToks.
As we've seen the TikToks, and the TikTok go tickety tock tock.
And if you want to get your postcard with vibes and growler on this endless gay summer, you better order it.
Order it now. Check out their website.
You guys gotta
Or
take
just
some
come,
of them.
or just come stay with us,
Or
and you'll
come
get a
stay with
postcard.
Yeah, stay here.
That is totally a vibe. And so we have some more questions for our guests. However,
I actually do have a question for you guys.
Okay, first
So-
time.
Okay.
Vibes and growler.
Yeah.
Like the app.
I am so much more than an app. I am an experience.
I wish you had been like the app, though. I mean, if we had founded that app, we'd be making shitloads of money.
Right. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Vianney.
So how do you guys feel about Puerto Rico? What brought you here in the first place? How, like, you've been staying in Puerto Rico for like many times now.
Yeah.
Like, what has your experience been in Puerto Rico?
You want to go, or you want me to go?
Sure. I'll go first, and then
Okay,
I'll
now
let,
fill it up.
I feel comfortable with you interrupting me as I go.
Because
So
I
just
fill it up a lot. So
yeah,
go
you'll
ahead.
fill it up.
Yeah,
I
fill
leave
it
out
up.
details. You know what? Before I met Vibes in general, I wrote in my diaries years ago that I just wanted to travel, and I wanted my life to be travel. I wanted to see as much as I could see. And I had traveled a little bit before I met Vibes, but actually when I met Vibes, I realized that like everything that I wanted as far as travel would be happening really, really fast and really soon. And so I went from traveling like 3 or 4 times a year to traveling like 12 to 15 times a year.
I'm a Sagittarius.
Vibes is definitely a Sagittarius. And honestly, COVID created its own challenges, and so the kinds of places in which you could travel became limited as a citizen in whatever country you live in. Where you could go became a conversation piece. But Vibes at that time had been to San Juan several times, and I had not been, and I honestly just wanted to see the world, and I wanted to do it with somebody who was dope and fun and great, so I can enjoy that time with them. And so we had been to Jamaica several times, and Vibes was like saying to me, "Look." We had been to Jamaica 5 times in a year or something like that. Vibes was like, no more.
Yeah.
I need a break. And I was like, I can go 100 times. And so anyway, Vibes made the suggestion of coming to Puerto Rico. And I honestly didn't know what. I had spoke a little Spanish before, but hadn't been really sure about what to do. But Vibes had been here. And we came, and we, like you said, we've been here. This is my 4th time here. And actually our first time here, we came here. Our second time here, we came here. And by here, I mean Coqui Del Mar. 3rd time here. Actually, no, so this is probably my 5th time here, actually. We've been here several times.
I don't know. We talked about this. We've been trying to count the times that we've been here.
We've been trying to
As
count the
everybody
times.
has experienced, the pandemic and everything in between.
Right.
It's been a blur.
It's
so
a blur. It's
you
a
lost
whole
like 3
blur.
years
It
or
feels
2
like
years or
2020.
whatever it was, and you don't know it.
It feels like 2020 still.
Well,
but-
it doesn't feel like that to me. I don't know that it feels like 2020. But I think for me, Puerto Rico, the name says it all. Is the island of enchantment. And there have been, as a traveler, there have always been places where I've gone to like seek sanctuary.
Yeah.
And Puerto Rico has been one of those places.
Yeah.
So the first time I came here, I think there was like some upheaval in my life, and I came here with one of my best friends, and we stayed here for a week and we enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The soul chef Antoine.
Yeah.
And then I didn't come back. And then the next time that I came back here was with my friend Kenneth Bell, and I was going through a lot of stuff. I was going through a divorce, so like it was like it's always been a place to come back and recharge. So I feel like the first time we came here,
Yeah.
Raul and I came here, it was like oh, I'm not in that space.
Yeah.
And even though it's still the wonders of every time I came here to like heal and recharge was a great thing, but it's like now I'm sharing this with somebody that I want to share it with. Not that I want to share with my friends, but it was different.
Yeah.
And so we've come here and, you know, I've showed him spaces and then we've found new spaces together and we happen to come here together. Like this is not from a healing space, but like let's just experience Puerto Rico together.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what keeps me coming back here is that not only is it practical and affordable, but it's also because every time I come here, and my Spanish is shit, but every time I come here, I was telling you last night, I feel like I'm at home.
Yeah.
I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And I am a traveler. I've been around the world. I've lived in Asia. I've lived in Central America. But every time I come to Puerto Rico, I feel like, yeah, I'm at home.
Yeah.
And so when I show up here at this space, it's like, yeah, I'm going to get naked. I'm going to be all body positive. I'm going to buy the bottle of rum. I'm going to go into the shared refrigerator and get my drinks. I'm going to come and have brunch and flirt. I love this place and I love this island.
Yeah.
And it's always offering up something new, but it's never not being like welcoming.
Yeah.
It's never not ever been that way.
I get what you're saying. Puerto Rico is a very, we were talking about it earlier, but it's a place of a lot of culture coming together. There are certain parts of Puerto Rico that reminds me a lot of the United States.
Yeah.
It's like you will find a lot of McDonald's and all of the fast food chains, and there's a lot of highways in the city.
Yeah.
It's very Caribbean as well, like obviously the weather, the beach. It's very Central and South America with the language. It's also very European in a way, with like there's a lot of sort of like Spanish culture that is infused in Puerto Rico. So I guess it could feel like home for a lot of people from anywhere around the world. Maybe not if you're from Norway or Iceland.
Then all it has in general is it's an island. But don't sleep on Reykjavik. I love Iceland. I've been like 5 times and I love it, but it's not Puerto Rico.
No,
I don't even know how to say that. How do you say that island?
Iceland, but
Iceland.
Reykjavik, the capital.
Reykjavik, yes.
Yeah. It's a good time, but
Yeah.
it's not Puerto Rico.
I hear you talk about Iceland.
Well, I mean, the weather's a
passionately.
little different.
It's a lot different.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're not going to be sunning on the beach, that's for sure. But you
it-
will go
that
into
is
some
on my
hot
list, though.
swimming
I would
pools.
like to go there.
You should do.
Yeah.
I
just
only went
didn't
there-
even know how to pronounce it until just now.
And I'm probably saying it wrong. I mean, I've been fucking up the name of this place.
Oh, that's true.
Excuse my Spanish.
Is that an edit?
No, it's
No.
not an edit because it's the truth.
It's the truth. It's life.
But actually, that's also something that I wanted to mention. Like, for anyone listening, feeling like maybe they cannot come to Puerto Rico because they don't speak Spanish. Obviously, I would encourage anyone to learn a little bit of Spanish before coming to Puerto Rico. But no one needs to speak perfect Spanish to come here. It's a very touristy island, and there's a lot of the business and just a lot of people who speak English. And also, it is actually very easy if you guys live in the States. Like, you don't need a passport to come to Puerto Rico. It is a territory of
Territory.
a
Yeah.
territory of
Yeah.
the United States. It's the same currency. It's US dollars.
Look at this. He's going
the
check by check.
Constitution of the United States
He-
applies to
he's
Puerto
got no
Rico,
list that he's reading
which,
from.
Hey, this is the same shit I tell my family members when they're like, "Oh, we should go somewhere, but we don't have a passport." It's like, okay, just come to Puerto Rico
Yep, exactly.
or any other U.S. Colony.
Yeah.
Yep.
St. Thomas,
Yeah, St.
Is
Thomas,
it
Guam,
Samoa,
the Samoan Islands. Yeah, it's a thing.
I don't know the
It
Samoan
is a
Islands.
thing.
Where are the Samoan Islands?
And it's in the same space and time as Hawaii.
Just learned a thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm pretty sure we have a base there, Coast Guard.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, he's back on the volcano, everybody. So that moves us up to our Eat Puff Love moment.
We are
Nah,
now.
don't try to pass it back to me. I'm gonna do it after we're off.
I'll hit it once.
I'm gonna do it off when we're off
once.
off the microphone.
But you know, actually, that reminds me of something that we have not really talked about yet.
Yes.
Like in Puerto Rico, marijuana is legal.
It's legal.
Yeah.
If on a medical level,
But
and
it's very
it's very
easy
easy to get your medical license in Puerto Rico, and you can get it for whoever is listening and thinking, "Oh, I would love to go on vacation in Puerto Rico." Even if you don't live in Puerto Rico, you can get your medical license
In 2 hours.
online
It's
in 2
super
hours.
simple.
So you arrive in Puerto Rico, you already have your medical license, and you can get to the dispensary,
So-
and there's all of the options available.
Little puffins.
Little Puffer.
So if you're trying to come to Puerto
If
Rico
you're trying to
and you
come.
know you can't carry
Yeah, you don't want
your
don't bring
flower,
it.
Yeah.
don't set yourself up that way.
No.
Don't set
don't bring
yourself
it.
up.
Get here,
Get here.
come to,
Coqui Del Mar.
and then have them work out your license
Hey.
Yeah.
in less than 24, 48 hours.
Yeah.
Even better, do it ahead of time, and you can do it up to 30 days before your trip.
Okay.
That way, like from
It's
the get
all
go,
online.
Done and
It's
done.
very
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
on the way from the
Yeah.
They'll
airport.
come here and smoke and enjoy. Because this is what we have not said either. We are less than like 2, not even New York blocks, less than New York blocks. I don't even think DC blocks
No.
from the Atlantic Ocean.
True.
Just sitting over there pretty and blue and
Just
tranquil
beautiful.
and azul and turquoise.
Yes, and if you go to the top level of the winding staircase at Coqui Del Mar, you can actually see very clearly the ocean.
The ocean.
And it's beautiful.
It's the money shot.
It's the money shot.
It's the money shot.
It's the money
At
shot.
sunset, that's the best time to go.
Okay,
up
we
there.
haven't
We'll go
seen
up
that
there.
yet.
We
I
haven't
think
seen
we've
it
left
yet.
here
Yeah.
before sunset.
Maybe
You
today.
should-
We always say we're going to come back and hang out with all the cute guests that are always here.
We do. You know what? And you know
But
what?
we end up leaving and going home and falling asleep.
or we stay in the guest house. We say
and
we're-
fall asleep.
We say we're gonna leave. We're gonna take a little quick nap. We take a
Oh,
quick
damn.
nap, and then after the nap, we realize
And then
that
it's next morning.
It's the next morning.
But not without a quick break before sleeping. But anyway, come on.
Okay, so we hold on. Let me take a breath, and then I can
Yeah.
I can edit the recording.
It's the volcano.
It's the volcano. we have
You and Rob have eaten a whole fucking pizza over here.
Yeah.
Me and Vonnie are like, yeah, not yet. And they're like,
4 p.m.
but once it's 4:20.
Oh, we're almost there.
Oh shit.
Light the volcano.
We have so immensely enjoyed spending time
Yeah.
with you, Rob and Vianney. We've enjoyed our time. Before we end our show, one of the things that we like to do is we like to do what's called an eat, puff,
love moment.
And this
Should I be scared?
No, not at all.
Is it like Mary fuck kill or
No. We are just going to go ahead, tell the people.
So the idea of this moment is that you're gonna tell our listeners a moment of eating.
A little puffin.
Our little puffins. A moment of eating that was just amazing. Rob, that might be the pizza that you just previously consumed.
Or smoking.
A puff moment. This is a puff moment, obviously. Or a love moment. And a love moment could be a love for the world, a love for your space, a love for your community, or a love for one another, or even a love for yourself.
Oh, look at that. Oh, see, this is why we do need video. These
listen,
moments. Hold on, let me snap a picture real quick.
Puffins,
Let's
you
get
can
them on the
see-
camera.
If you
Hold
can
on.
see these cuties, they are all French and shit.
Oh.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
C'est soir.
C'est soir. C'est soir.
Ménage à trois.
Okay.
J'adore la magenta. Il y a bonne expérience.
But it's all going to be computer generated.
It's all computer generated. So
We have not decided what the moment is going to
We have not decided
be.
what your moment is going to be. Eat, puff, love, and so.
How does it work?
So
Are you ready?
we are ready.
Are you ready?
Ready?
I'm a
All
little
right, you ready?
nervous.
Here we
Go. The moment is eat.
Eat.
Tell us about something that you've eaten most recently, that you're in love with, that you've enjoyed. It could be something together or separate.
Ooh,
Go ahead, tell us.
Marmalade restaurant.
Marmalade was
in
amazing.
San Juan, Puerto
Yeah.
Rico.
Ooh.
So
Creole
we
lady
went there.
Oh my God, they do
a
this huge,
few months ago. I think maybe it was
wine
for like our anniversary or
eating
something.
thing.
And it's a really cool restaurant in Old San Juan where you have you pick between a 4-course or 5-course menu.
Okay.
And you get, if you want, you have the wine pairing, and we're both like
We eat. We can
we
eat.
eat, we can eat,
And we can drink.
but
And we can
like,
drink.
Yeah, and we can drink.
So
And
we
love to
are
eat and
like,
we love
let's
to
do the
drink, so
5
we're like-
course.
Drink.
Yeah. And it was so good.
Everything was.
What
so
about
good.
it? Tell us about it.
It was
Marmalade.
awesome.
Marmalade.
Tell us.
Oh my god! I remember checking the menu, and so you can like in those like 4 or 5 course menu, you get to pick like one appetizers out of all the appetizers list, and one entry, one salad, one whatever.
Right.
And I would always pick. I was like, oh my god! Like in those menus, it's gonna be like such small portions. So I would always pick like the
hearty one.
Yes, exactly. It was like, the one with pasta and
Yeah.
meat, and the one was like, I was like, I don't want to be hungry after all of that.
Right.
It was way too
It was
much.
so much.
Oh, because
So
it's like
much.
full. It's not like little petite plates.
No,
a
it
little
was
slice
And,
of
and
just
they're
that.
rich. Whatever it is, it might be a small amount, but it's so rich. You're like, ugh, I can't.
Okay.
And the wine, they keep pouring it. Even after you've done your
Even
5
after the
courses,
pairing.
they're still filling up your glass. And you're like, I don't want to say no, but okay,
It's like-
pour.
keep pouring.
Keep
So
pouring.
this is-
who's
It's like,
else
where's
gonna
the
say no?
Cabernet?
Or the Bordeaux that you brought that might not be from France.
It might not be from France. We brought.
It just said French on the bottle.
It's
Wait,
French on the
It's
bottle.
not
definitely
from
French.
France?
Oh, it is from France.
It's from France.
It's the whole label is in French.
How
It
do we
says it's
know?
from
How do we
Bordeaux.
know that the bottle itself is not from France, but the wine is not from
The
France?
grapes.
Well, it's gotta, doesn't it? Well, Vianney, I am not
I
French.
don't know. You just read it in French, I guess. Look, it says
So if it says Champipple,
vin de Bordeaux, Château Bois Pertuis, mise en bouteille au château,
Yes.
récolte 2018 de Bordeaux. It all sounds very French.
can we find it on Google though?
Pas de
Yeah,
français.
probably. There's a QR code or something.
Comment dire QR code in français?
Very sadly, you would say it QR code.
And ladies and gentlemen and humans of all genders. and
Globalization.
So
types,
Rob
present the French.
and Vianney, tell everyone again how they can find you both,
Yeah.
how they can come across Growler,
Coqui Del Mar.
online,
Yes.
Online.
So
I
on-
couldn't
and
say
how they can
Grindr.
book their next trip here, because everybody's going to
Yeah.
come here after this.
On Instagram and Facebook, Coqui Del Mar Guesthouse. So Coqui spelled COQUI, Del Mar DELMAR. Coqui Del Mar Guesthouse. On TikTok, it's Vianney and Rob. Should I spell that? It seems
Yeah,
like it's gonna
Vianney
take
spelled
30
what?
minutes.
Well, just spell Vianney.
Yes.
VIANNEY and Rob.
But is it and like the little apostrophe thing?
The
in
The
there?
ampersand.
What is it?
Ampersand.
No, my name is French, not Spanish.
Whoop, whoop.
And where else? And on our direct website, coquidelmar.com, where you can check all of our pictures and book a room if you would like to, and find
also-
also a
Book
lot
those
of
rooms.
recommendations on what
Puerto
to do
Rico
in
Gay
Puerto
Tours
Rico.
as well.
Yeah.
PuertoRicoGayTours.com, because then you can do a gay tour while you're staying at a gay guest house.
Okay.
But you'll end up meeting a lot of people that are not staying at our place that end up coming back over and hanging out. So that's kind of one of the best things about the tours is it brings more people together
Yeah.
that may not have been here,
Yeah.
and everybody gets to kind of hang out.
Well, however you get here, get here.
Get here.
Yeah. Don't let the idea that the flight may be high. You know, there's a lot of sites now where you can pay in 4 installments, layaway on flights, friends.
Yes.
Get yourself to
Coqui Del
Coqui
Mar.
Del Mar in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Yes.
The gayest guest house that is 420, eco-friendly,
Clothing
and
optional.
clothing optional.
Clothing optional.
And we love being here.
Hey.
So bring yourself here, friends.
And we
Time to
always
get
love
naked.
having
Time to
you
get
guys.
naked.
Yeah, and then offline we're going to talk about how
Rob can start helping us find some of these
Some
properties.
properties
We trying to.
we don't want to be competition. We just want to be
We
your
just-
friends in the
We want to
neighborhood
be friends in the
That's not
neighborhood.
competition.
who
That's awesome.
also are very body positive, clothing optional.
Hell, we'll throw a party on
And
the
we
nights
like
that you
Yeah,
know
vacation
we gotta
trips.
support each other.
Biani and Rob, we have been so grateful to have you
Yeah.
both on our show. Thank you.
Thank
you.
Very
again.
much.
Thank you,
And
guys.
again, check out the Coqui Del Mar Guesthouse, the gayest guest house in all of the Caribbean. We appreciate you. And to our listeners, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate always
Not appreciation, man. No.
coming
It's like
coming to listen to our show. But until then, until the
I
next
just
time,
gotta say,
next-
it's amazing to see this live, to be part of this. This is like, I would hear this on the radio, but here I am
yeah, you're here.
watching it.
See,
You're here and you're queer and we're in Puerto
and
Rico.
we are ready to
Stuck
mingle.
And always remember
And
to
always remember to eat.
puff
Puff.
love. Thank you, everybody. Little puff until next time.
Gracias.